It's Monday night. It's Monday fun day. And we're gonna have a fun day tonight, even though it's night. We're playing Pokemon. We're going back. We're going back to catch 'em all. I got my Pokemon Red version shirt on, but we're done with the red. We're moving on. We're doing another game in Japanese. Are we doing gold and silver? We're not. I don't have Nick with me. He is both sick and working because it's busy season. So it's just me and I'm going solo, and you know what that means. I got a surprise for you boys and girls. I went out into the city. I went to New York City. I traveled all the way to the land of New York City like Buddy the Elf. And I went to a video game store there and I bought an overpriced imported game. And it's a Pokemon game because Pokemon Day is tomorrow. I bought Pokemon Crystal. We're playing Pokemon Crystal and we're gonna catch them all in Crystal in the Japanese version. And then we're gonna put this game onto my 3DS and we're gonna do the Celebi event when we're all done. So get ready, we're gonna start our journey on this tonight. God bless you and God bless America. Play ball. Just gonna get everything all set up. Please allow me to get situated. Hello, Wise Barbiel, and welcome on in. We're playing Pokemon Crystal. We're starting it from the very beginning. Okay, I just have to get a couple things situated on my end first before we could begin. But I'm looking forward to doing this. I'm going to be picking Chikorita as my starter. Or not Chikorita. I'm going to be I'm sorry. That is an absolute mistake. I'm going to be picking Cyndaquil as my starter. And I've learned from the Gold and Silver walkthrough, or the Gold and Silver play through that I was doing, that I have to be just powering up only my starter, because that's the way Nick was doing it, and it seemed to be working well for him. All right. Let me know if you're getting sound. Can you hear the game? Yeah, it's a great attacker. Cyndaquil Giga Chad. Do you hear the audio? Rollout? That's what we're going to do. That's our plan. Cyndaquil rollout. You can't hear the audio. Okay. Let's see. How about now? There it is. Okay, there we go. And we are starting. I have to restart this because I was playing this a little bit on my own. What I wanted to do was I wanted to trade over a Chikorita. That's why I said Chikorita. I wanted to trade over a Chikorita to my silver version that I was playing through. Oh. What time is it? It is... Yeah, it's 10. And it is 41, 44. All right, here we go. Are you a boy or a girl? Okay, I'm a boy. We're playing with the boy character. There's a Wooper. Okay, here we go. And we're spelling my name in Japanese. We got to get it right this time. Thinking about this. Okay, because I was corrected so many times. I'm gonna get the correct spelling of my name in Japanese. There we go. I think that is Joey. I'm just going to double check that real quick. Looks good to me. Oh, you're doing shiny Zapdos? You know, you can do red version and get a Zapdos, right? And in red version, you can do something called the 8F glitch, which is the arbitrary code execution. And there is a code that you can do to make any of your Pokemon shiny. And then you could use that method to transfer up the shiny if you wanted a modern game. Joey, yeah, that's me. Got my analog pocket last weekend, it's sick. Yeah, I'm playing this on the analog. I don't even know what she's saying, but we're going through. I'm just mashing A. Gen 1, 2 shiny guarantee. Yeah, you can absolutely have a Gen 1 and 2 shiny guaranteed. I did that to get a Mew shiny, and I did that to get a Mewtwo shiny, and I honestly wanted to stop myself from going down the rabbit hole of getting every single shiny from the first generation of games. So I just stopped with Mew and Mewtwo. Gen 1 is amazing because of that. I love the fact that it's broken. The fact that it's broken is like what makes it nostalgic, and it gives it its charm, doing those glitches. Alright, so here we go. We're going with Cyndaquil today. And I hope it's a boy Cyndaquil. I'm not going to restart if it's a girl Cyndaquil, though. Yeah, you could do that to get all the legendary bird shiny. Do you have red or blue version? I'm saying red or blue because it's easier with red and blue than yellow. Because if it was yellow version, you'd have to... Doing the arbitrary code execution involves doing a lot of like item underflow and getting like an absurd amount of these items. And really the only way to do it is through Missing No. And while you can do Missing No in yellow version through the trainer fly glitch, it's so many steps that are involved. Yeah, there's our rival there. You have Crystal in English and Japanese. Oh, nice. Yeah, this is my first time doing Japanese Crystal. Okay, good. We have a boy Cyndaquil. And we're doing your method. We're doing just Cyndaquil rollout. I'm just going to adjust my camera for a second. There we go. Why is it that now it's too zoomed out? Nope. Hold on. Alright, you know what? This is the best we're going to get it. I just want a nice view of my Japanese red version shirt that I got. Came in today. I got one for my brother, too. I got him the blue one, and I got Lugia for me for silver, and I got Ho-Oh for Nick. So we all have the first two generation of Pokemon shirts. There was no crystal version that they offered online. I got this on an Etsy store. And I think it's really cool. Because I love this Japanese art that we got. The Japanese writing and all that. It says Pocket Monsters there. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. I'm surprised that there is... there's not a whole lot more of these. I just found like one niche Etsy shop of this. I'd expect, like I Googled Japanese box art Pokemon shirts. I thought I'd be seeing a lot more than this. Ideally, I would have liked it in a black, but you know what? It's a nice shirt to wear to bed or go to the gym or something or go on Twitch with. Pokemon Company just pretends it didn't happen. I don't know. I don't know why they do that. Sometimes they do pretend it happened and then everyone like cashes in on it. Like For example, when it was Pokemon Day in 2016 and they announced like that Gen 1 version was coming, all the Gen 1 games were coming to Virtual Console, that was pretty wild. Like everyone was very excited about that, and they made those special edition Game Boy, not Game Boy, the special edition 2DSs. Like that was pretty cool. I'm hoping that they do something big for Pokemon Day tomorrow, but I'm not getting my expectations up. I'd like to see them announce these games onto the Virtual Console on the Switch, but it doesn't even matter because I'm playing them on my own hardware. Console gaming not looks so hot right now. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing over there. All right, so it looks like I got Leer, I got Smokescreen, and I got Tackle. Best another Legends game, probably another Let's Go. I don't want another Let's Go. It would be really cool if they did a Legends for like Johto. That would be really cool. It would be cool if they honestly could like combine Johto and Kanto for a Legends game. I don't want any more Unova stuff. I know some people really like Black and White. I'm very turned off by Black and White. I love this Analog Pocket, though. This picture quality is beautiful. I was going back and forth today. I knew I was going to do a Pokemon game. I didn't know if I was going to do, like, Japanese blue version, because I have that. I didn't know if I was going to do this crystal version. When I went to the store to get this crystal version, I went into New York City. I went to J&L Games, and I picked this up there. And I also got gold version in English. Now, I had gold version in English. I think I lent it to one of my friends in high school, and I don't think they ever gave it back. Or if they did, I couldn't find it anywhere. So that's why I bought another gold version in English. And I was partially debating on doing that. Oh, no. Oh, no. My name is... No. I messed up the name. We're restarting. I hate that this happened. Please bear with me, guys. I'm embarrassed that happened. That's what happens when I just click A. So I think this is asking me, am I a boy or a girl? Right? Let me Google Translate. Yeah, this is, are you a boy or a girl? Okay. And then it's going to ask me about day and night, and I already messed that one up too. Okay, so help me out over here, Echo Side. I know you speak Japanese too. Or you could read Japanese. Okay, this is 10. Okay, 10:55. I gotta put. Oh, 10 a.m. You know what? Let's restart. There we go. Restarting again. Because I gotta get 10 p.m. on here. I got to get the name right. I got to get the time right. Like, if we're going to do this now, we're going to do this right. Wow. And there I was, like, being like, oh, we're doing great. Okay, I'm a boy. This is serious. This is professional. We're doing this right. We're doing this all legit. Okay. We need to get 10 p.m. Why does it all have that? Oh, okay. There. This one here? 10 p.m. is this one. No, it's not this one. Okay. This one? There. Okay, good. And the minutes, 57. Okay. Doing this for real. It was practice before. I can't believe I messed up the name. And I made sure to do everything. I put that little 2 dots on what the J-ish character is. I used the tiny backwards E. Okay, here we go. Hello, Nikachu. No channel points to call the king. That's all right. We'll get him. We'll get him next time. And... Okay. Did I get it right? No? Okay, what's wrong here? No dash? What do you mean no dash? Like, which character's off? So wait, you're just saying do this, the backwards E, and then this here? And while we're doing that, I'll do an all hail the king.
Hail to the king, baby.
Are you sure? Because every single time I did this, there was the dash. Tomorrow is Pokemon Day. That's why I got my Pokemon shirt on. I got my red version shirt. The dash helps. All right, I'm gonna do the dash. I'm gonna do the because we've always done the dash, so I'm gonna keep the dash in there. And Google told me that, and I'm just kind of used to seeing that because Joey is 4 letters, and this is like kind of similar because you can kind of see a J. There's an E. If you switch the E and the O is the dash, and the Y. Oh. All right, here we go. We're going now. I'm trying to spell Joey. Starting it from the beginning. All over. So tomorrow's Pokemon Day. I'm hoping that they announce Gen 1, 2, and 3 on Virtual Console on the Switch. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I'm not getting my hopes up about that. But it doesn't matter because we're playing Gen 1 and 2 on actual hardware. So we don't even need the Switch for that. And it's nighttime. Good. So it's actually accurate here. And we're going to pick Cyndaquil again. So like what I was saying before, I picked Chikorita on this game, Crystal version when I first got it, and then I sent that to my Silver version that I'm playing in Japanese. And that way I can complete the Pokedex on these games. Because I really didn't want to do a playthrough of this game with Chikorita. And I'm following the advice of Wise Barb Yelling, and I'm going to just power through with a Cyndaquil. Ended up doing the Get All 3 Starters glitch. Which Get All 3 Starters glitch did you do? Like where you save the game after getting them, and then you turn off the game while it's saving, start a new save file, something like that? Because I've tried to do those, and I've just corrupted my save data. Hello, Nuff Dragon. Welcome on in. What do you got? You got an Elvira. You got a Zero Suit Samus. Nice. Nice. Love that. That's a good Zero Suit Samus that you got going on. I like those little moving emojis. All right. It's a boy, good. And we're gonna get shoved by our rival again. Now my biggest fear is seeing a shiny before we get Pokeballs. That was really close to my other biggest fear of getting a shiny that's a Graveler and having it explode, which happened to us last stream when I was playing Silver version. And I wasn't going to use my Master Ball on it because I got to use my Master Ball on the roaming dogs. I got to use them on one of the roaming dogs. But this game's a little annoying, where you have to get all 3 of the roaming dogs before you could catch Ho-Oh. But Suicune's an easy one. It's a standard, like, static encounter, where Entei and Raikou, they're roaming. Now, say that, like, you killed one of them, or you didn't catch them, or whatever, you tried to send an Entei or Raikou in from another game, it has to be your Entei and Raikou from this game, which is really annoying. Save, get Pokemon, catch Pidgey, give Pokeball to Cyndaquil, put Cyndaquil in box, change box, turn off that specific point, profit. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go through... Though I do love glitches. I don't know if you see me do the glitches on the other games. I love doing glitches. That's just a glitch that I was never able to make work. I never got the timing right. There we go. Do the trade thing like you said from Silver. I tried to do one of those glitches. I'm going to tell you a story. I watched Austin John's playthrough of how to do the 8F glitch. And near the end, right before he shows you how to use 8F to make a Pokemon shiny, he shows you how to clone a Pokemon by doing something similar to that. Now, I wanted to clone my Mews. I had 2 Mews, and I wanted to have the Mew shiny and not shiny. I wanted both variations of it. And I was greedy. I was like Alexander the Great. I wanted to conquer the world. So I wanted both Mews to be shiny and both Mews to be not shiny. I couldn't be satisfied just doing, oh, well, I have 2 Mews. I'll make just one of them shiny. I needed 4 Mews. And I needed 2 of them shiny and 2 of them unshiny. Well, I tried to clone those Mews by doing a glitch similar to that, and it caused me to lose my save file. So I had to start again all the way from the beginning. I had to get all the way back to Cinnabar Island. I had to get 8F again, and then just setting up those glitches was hell. It took like about 8 hours to do. So that's why I try not to do those save, turn off the game glitches. But I know the one in Emerald is a little bit more bearable. Or so I remember. Because I remember being able to successfully do the save clone in Emerald. I can't get over how good this looks on the TV and on OBS from the Analog Pocket. It is beautiful. I'm really happy with this thing. Probably gonna get the adapter. Which adapter are you gonna get for it? Because I know that there's a ton of adapters. Like, have you played any of the SNES? No, I have not. I've just played regular Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games on it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I put it in the port. I'm almost afraid to touch it because I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. It's still in like the little plastic casing on it. I didn't peel off the plastic on there. Oh, the TV one too. Oh yeah, the dock. Yeah, the dock is great. It's great playing it on the TV. I think it's really good. The picture quality. I have an LG OLED TV. It's a 77-inch TV I got for this, and this game is massive. You could see every single pixel, but it's coming in so clear and like crisp. You took yours off. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I'm gonna turn around the camera real quick so you can see, because it's pretty nice. I'm gonna put face cam on, and I'm gonna flip this around. That's the TV. It may not look like it, but you're gonna have to take my word. 77 inches. I'll go up to it for scale. Yes, this is optimal gaming. Optimal gaming. The Pokemon Johto games are my childhood. I can imagine taking a nap in the Ilex Forest. Also, if you get ever around to playing a ROM hack Crystal Clear, the developers crammed the Viridian Forest into the game by using Ilex Forest as its base. That's awesome. Is Crystal Clear the one where you can go to any part of the region? Like it's like an open world Johto game? Is that the one that I'm thinking of, or is that another one? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I would like to play that. I know that there's a bunch of Crystal ROM hacks that are good. There's Crystal Clear, and then there's this other one that I was seeing on YouTube a lot. Like the developer puts out these videos a lot, Crystal Legacy, where he tried to make the game a little bit more balanced and like give better moves and like fix the level curve, all that. But Crystal Clear is definitely one that I got to try out. Shame they never did a return to the old gen like they did in Gen 2. I know. It's crazy. Like, this is the only one that's... I mean, I guess there's Black 2, White 2 are kind of like sequels. And the generation, it changed a little bit. Also, there's Pokemon X D Gala Darkness, which is returning to the region from Colosseum, and it's changed over time. It's always cool when you go back to that region. That's what I thought Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were going to be. I thought they were going to be like, you're returning to this region after time has gone on and things have changed, but that really wasn't it. It was kind of like a straight up remix, except there was red in the game and blue in the game, but you're this new character. It doesn't make any sense. Ultra Sun or whatever. You know what I think? I think they need to have like more fans who grew up with Pokemon in the Pokemon Company making it. I think that would cause them, like, if you sometimes fans come up with better ideas than the actual creators. And the other thing is, like, they grew up with it and it resonated with them, so they're able to more articulate what was the thing about it that resonated with them. I don't know. never play Pokemon Coliseum or XD, you got to play through at least Coliseum. I think Coliseum is a lot better than XD, but they're both fun. XD is a little bit more childish. Like there's I think, okay, the way that they said that they came up with this, because it was like this Genius Seniority was this developer who made that. The way that they came up with this is they never played a Pokemon game before, but then they figured, okay, the original Pokemon game, the character's supposed to be like 10. And by the time Coliseum was coming out, it was like 7 years after. So they're like making a game for that same audience, which is now like 17. And they made the character like 17, and the tone of the game is a lot more mature. And that's why Coliseum, it's like a really mature Pokemon game. It's probably the most mature Pokemon game there is. And I think they maybe had to dial it back a little bit when they were coming up with XD. Maybe they got some notes from Nintendo being like, make it more for kids. And you could kind of feel it's more for kids. It's still pretty cool, but it's definitely more for kids. Yeah, you can get Lugia in XD. You could also get the starters, the Johto starters, in both XD and Coliseum. In Coliseum, you can get them just through regular gameplay. But in XD, you have to beat like this 100 battle mountain, and you get a choice of one of them at the end. But I've never done that. In Coliseum, you can get Ho-Oh, but again, you have to do that battle mountain in XD or in Coliseum to get it. So there's a reward at the end of doing the battle mountain in each one of those. My dad told me Best Buy, it's either GameCube and Coliseum or GBA with Pokemon Ruby. You know what, if I was given that decision, GBA and Pokemon Ruby is probably better, but Coliseum is great. Like, the way I see it is, the Coliseum is like supplemental to Ruby. Like, if Ruby's the main series game, you catch these Pokemon on Coliseum and then you transfer them over to Ruby. The other thing about Coliseum is that was the way that you got the Generation 2 Pokemon in Generation 3. So you get the legendary dogs in Coliseum, and then you could trade it over to Ruby and Sapphire version. You get Ho-Oh in Coliseum. You get Lugia in XD. And you trade them over to Ruby and Sapphire. So that's how you complete your Pokedex over there with that. And then they have other Pokemon. They have like Tyranitar you can get, Smeargle, I'm trying to think of the other ones, Jumpluff, Ramarade, yeah, pretty much most of it. You can get one Pokemon in each of the evolutionary lines of everyone from Gen 2 in XD and in Coliseum. Gen 3 is probably like my favorite generation of Pokemon though. I really love that. I grew up, I played Red version when I was a little kid because all the kids in my neighborhood had it and they helped me get through it. I wouldn't have been able to get through it on my own. When Gold and Silver came out, I tried to play it, but I didn't get into it as much as I did Red version. But when Ruby and Sapphire came out, it was just at that sweet spot where I was like able to get through it on my own without anyone else's help. And I love the designs of the Pokemon because I feel like those Pokemon, like think about Sharpedo, Metagross, Salamence, Flygon, those Pokemon were killing machines. Tropius. They were some of the coolest Pokemon designs, melodic, and they weren't overly designed either. Like they were just straight up like, that was the design. Like it wasn't cutesy, it wasn't over designed, it was just like intimidating, strong, like that is a Pokemon. And I feel like maybe that was one of my criticisms with Gen 2 is a lot of the Pokemon, like look, Hoot Hoot, it's a cute Pokemon. There's a lot of cute Pokemon. There's Pichu, there's the whole baby lines of Pokemon. Which, don't get me wrong, like they're cool and everything, and I'm fine with them, but I like the Gen 3 designs, the Regis, Rayquaza, Groudon, Kyogre. They were so cool. They were so cool. There's barely any Gen 3 Pokemon that I have a problem with. The only thing I'll tell you I do have a problem with is trying to catch Feebas and trying to evolve Feebas into Milotic. Because that is a pain in the neck. No, maybe I'll make my way through every generation slowly but surely. I don't even know what I named him. I just kind of like closed out of there. All right, what does he want me to do? All right, I think we have to tell our mom that we're heading out. There's a glitch in Crystal version where it's similar to the cloning glitch, where if you start the game as the girl and then you like save the game and restart and do a new game, but you like turn off the game as you're doing it, you can play as the boy, but the boy shows up blue instead of like this orangey color because the girl's blue. And I guess you can make that girl that orangey color too. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna load up on some Pokeballs now after he gives us a little tutorial. I know how to catch Pokemon. I've been doing this for years. It is amazing that this was the extent of the tutorial that you got in these early generation games. Like in the more modern ones, like what is it, Scarlet and Violet, it's just hours of tutorial. The spirit of the game is the mom pins a $20 bill to your shirt and wishes you good luck. Yep. And that's how I like it. I like these games. I fell in love with these games because it's like the adventure aspect that I like always wanted as a kid. I wanted to be able to just like go leave and explore and travel and fight with dangerous monsters and be the very best like no one ever was. The thing that stinks about Pokemon Crystal is you are not able to get Mareep. Because Mareep is pretty solid. There are only a few Pokemon that have 3 evolutionary lines in Gen 2. There's all 3 starters, have 3 evolutions. There's Mareep, and there's Tyranitar. That's it. Good counter to your weaknesses, the star's weakness, yeah. But we can't catch him in this game. I might have to trade from Silver version. Maybe I'll do that off camera. But I'm just gonna get, I'm just gonna power through with Cyndaquil. Everyone else we get. It's just, I'm going through, and I'm only leveling up Cyndaquil. I'm going to try to make him a killing machine. But yeah, that's what you did last playthrough, and it worked. We were having some difficulty with the Elite Four. I don't know if you were watching up to the Elite Four last time. Both me and Nick got there, and we got smacked. We got to do that rollout thing. Alright, well Poliwhirl. Poliwag. All we need now is base and some guns. Welcome to Pal World. Yeah. I never played Pal World. Did you play Pal World? And if so, what did you think about it? Also, what do you guys think is going to happen tomorrow for Pokemon Day? If you have any guesses. You didn't play it. Probably not much. Yeah, probably not much is right. I'm still kind of excited. They're probably going to announce things like new raids coming to Scarlet and Violet. And I got to work my way all the way up to Scarlet and Violet. Did any of you guys play Pokemon Stadium? Likely it's decent, but actually nothing like a Pokemon game. Monster Hunter with fancy monsters. Some of the monsters, like I saw some comparisons. I saw some of the comparisons between Pokemon and Pal World, and some of them are like pretty much identical. Yes, but 25 years ago. Okay, I never played Pokemon Coliseum, or never played Pokemon Stadium. But I saw that you can connect your Game Boy games to Pokemon Stadium. And you can get Pokemon from Pokemon Stadium onto your Game Boy. Like, I knew that you could, like, put your team on there and play through with your team. But apparently if you win these cups, you can get, like, a starter, or you can get a fossil Pokemon, or you can get, what are some of the other things that you can get? Like a Hitmonlee or Hitmonchan. Basically, anytime, any choice Pokemon, anytime you had a choice, another Eevee, you can get like duplicates of that. I am thinking about getting Pokemon Stadium and doing that on stream. I think that would be pretty cool. But I think for me to do that, I need to have a like maxed out English version of a Pokemon game to do. Because I don't know if my Japanese Pokemon Red version that I've been playing with will be compatible with that. Tried to get another starter, but I didn't really know a lot about battling other than just have one OP starter. Yeah, that's how everyone played it as a kid. But I think I had a pretty solid team when I did my Red version playthrough. I had Charizard, I had Vaporeon, I had Raichu, I had Alakazam, and then we were messing around with other things. Like I know I had a Nidoking and a Dugtrio at one point. But I'm sure if you get like Mewtwo, like let's say I'm thinking about playing. Yeah, that is a stacked team. That's a really good team. I was considering doing blue version today and playing with all the other Pokemon, like doing a different team and playing with the Pokemon that I didn't get to play through, doing red version. I was thinking about doing Blastoise, Gengar, Jolteon. I was thinking about doing a Jolteon, and then I don't know what I'd put in the other 3 slots. I'd probably need to get another fire Pokemon, but it kind of sucks getting another fire Pokemon that's not Charizard. I don't know if I would have gone with Arcanine. Arcanine's pretty solid, I guess. Ninetales you could always do. And a grass Pokemon, maybe Executor. Executor's pretty cool. But Alakazam is like overpowered in Gen 1. Alakazam in Gen 1 was the one that was like tearing up the Elite Four. Arcanine is a legendary, yeah. Back when Arcanine was a legendary. I'm Bassin.
You're playing red version?
No, this is Crystal version, the Crystal version that I got.
This is Crystal Oregon's Crystal version?
No, this is the Japanese Crystal that I got.
No, this is the non-Oregon Christian version.
Yeah, here we go. Come on, get in.
Rick's here, but I'm only hanging out for a little bit. Who we got in the house?
We got, why is Barb always yelling? We had Nikachu. There you go. We had Nikachu. We had Echo Side in here.
I don't know Barb.
Barb's new. Barb was Barb was the one who found us from the YouTube channel. You know Barb.
Oh, yes, vaguely.
Yeah.
One time I remember Barb.
Yeah, from the last stream. Barb. I connected the analog pocket to the TV. Look at how crisp that is.
You know, it's crisp as a cookie crisp.
It is crisp as a cookie crisp. So you got out of the Workman's a little bit early?
Yeah, I got on a call, and they're just like, they called me in, and I was like, sorry guys, like my washing machine's going, so forgive me if you hear some background noise. And they're just like, oh, you got your washing machine in your basement? And I'm like, no, I actually moved my stuff upstairs because my basement's really cold, and I didn't want to be working in the cold. Because I have really bad chills. And they're like, oh, I forgot you were sick. You should log off. And I'm like, thanks.
Well, that's good. So I'm making my way to Sprout Tower now.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces passing alone now. Oh, wow.
You remember this? You remember doing this?
We're in Bulbasaur Tower.
Yeah, we're in Bulbasaur Tower. You know what I did before I started this stream? I turned on this game and I chose Chikorita, and I traded that Chikorita to my silver version.
And then you restarted the game?
Yeah, because I didn't... You know, if I would have chose Cyndaquil first, then we would have never had a Chikorita.
Right,
now we can breed the Chikorita, and we could have Chikoritas in those games. I want to complete the Pokedex on these games.
It's going to take a long time to do that.
Well, we did it with red version, and I think if two of us are going with gold and silver, it's going to be a lot easier. Because remember, I had to like finish playing red version,
right,
switch to green version.
Guys, yeah. I also have not been catching many Pokemon. I think I have like 18 guys.
It doesn't matter though, because the thing is like all you need is to gain access to the whole map, and then you could go whenever and catch the Pokemon. Right. Like I'm not interested in catching the Pokemon now. I'm just interested in like really powering up my Cyndaquil, and then we are going to clear the game and then catch the Pokemon. But you know what I was thinking about doing, and I was telling them this in the chat. I was thinking about getting Pokemon Stadium for the Nintendo 64, and I didn't really know much about Pokemon.
I actually never played that.
I never played it either. There's Pokemon Stadium and there's Pokemon Stadium 2. But the thing is, Pokemon Stadium 1 works with,
Where's Stadium 2? Is that also for the N64?
It's also for the N64. But Stadium 2 works with, like, the Generation 1 and 2. Pokemon Stadium works with Generation 1. But here's the thing of why I was interested in Pokemon Stadium over Pokemon Stadium 2. If you beat Pokemon Stadium with a Pikachu in your team, you can teach that Pikachu Surf. And Pikachu can never learn Surf.
Right.
That's pretty cool. The other thing you could do is if you beat those games, every time you beat one of those games, you get an additional starter that you could send to your Game Boy game. Like you connect your Game Boy game, you use the same team from your Game Boy game. Okay, so I want you to imagine this. Let's say you and me do Pokemon Red version and Pokemon Blue version together on stream.
Blue skin?
Yeah. We come up with teams, and we put those teams into Pokemon Stadium.
Right.
And then if we beat Pokemon Stadium, then I started with Charmander. Might get a Squirtle after I beat the game. You started with Squirtle, let's say you get a Bulbasaur, you know? And they also let you get additional fossil Pokemon. Like every choice in that game, like you choose between Omanite and Kabuto.
Omastar.
Yeah, you choose between Omanite and Omastar. you choose between Omanite and Kabuto, you might get rewarded with the other fossil, which is really cool. I didn't know that about that. So they send you your Game Boy game one of those Pokemon.
Oh wow, I didn't know that either. So you could get both fossils.
Yeah, you can get both fossils. That's cool.
You're like Indiana Jones digging up fossils.
I'm exactly like Indiana Jones digging up fossils.
It's probably pretty bad for the environment though, like fossil fuel.
I think the environment's doing well.
The Poke environment.
Oh look, he's got a Omanite shell fossil, an emoji.
That might be an Omastar.
That might be an Omastar. You're right. It looks like an Omanite to me. You know what I always say? You could either go Omanite or Omastar.
Best room.
Global emote from Twitch plays Pokemon. No, that's the Helix. Praise the Helix. Do you know about Twitch plays Pokemon?
No.
Okay. So they set up a Twitch game where Pokemon Red was on the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by writing in the chat, you cause the character to go right or left, up or down, and press A. And they had like hundreds of thousands of people doing this at the same time.
Okay.
So like you could imagine the character was going all over the place.
Right.
Yeah. And
Did
like
it work?
I mean, they got through the game. Yeah, it worked. They got through the game.
Thousands of people together.
Just they're all doing conflicting things though.
And it worked though.
They got through the game. Yeah.
How long did it take?
Probably took a really long time, but keep in mind it was going like for hours. They just didn't stop doing this.
Right. It just never ended.
It just never ended. Like whoever was in the chat.
And what was the signal to end it? You catch them all, or you just
no?
you
just beat the Elite Four. It wasn't you catch them all. It went 24/7. Did they do Twitch plays Pokemon with like the other generations? Because I'd imagine that would be very hard. One of the things that kept happening in Twitch plays Pokemon is they kept going into the items and clicking on the Helix fossil. That's why there's that emoji.
Right.
And like people were like making fake lore about this, like praise the Helix, like the Helix, like before you do anything, you have to praise the Helix.
Right. Wait, I don't get it.
Like, okay, they would constantly be opening the bag and clicking on the item that's the Helix fossil, that's Omanite. Okay. But they just kept doing it. Like it kept rather than progressing with the story. And like the people in the chat were like, you have to praise the Helix. We have Ninja Warlord in here.
So what if you wanted to like pull up the start button? You would just say press
start?
Yeah,
there's a no. There's like keys that you enter. Like I think like J's up, whatever. I don't even know what it is. You can set it up. It's like a modded version. That's awesome. They streamed, got stuck on the fossil for days because people kept going back to it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, there's a bunch of memes from Twitch plays Pokemon. Twitch plays Pokemon, and then I play Pokemon on Twitch. Another fun mod is when your chat affects the game you're playing. It all comes full circle. Is there a mod for Pokemon where the chat affects the game that I'm... Like, if I'm playing Pokemon in the chat could only, like, be used to hurt me then, because you'd probably be selecting, like, Leer when I'm trying to use, like, Ember.
Lyra, like Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, like Lyra, like in Full Metal Alchemist. Did you see the shirt?
Yeah,
it looks cool.
It looks good on the stream.
It looks good on the
too,
stream.
you got Charizard.
Yeah.
And you're playing with Cyndaquil, so it's like both fire types.
Both fire types, yeah. I think Cyndaquil is like... You know, I'm a big Totodile fan, but I think Cyndaquil is the way to go in these games. Totodile, or Feraligatr is the way to go, I think, in Coliseum, though. Giga Chad red.
Giga Chad.
Crowd control, you seen it for Dark Souls. Oh, okay. And Dark Souls is apparently a very hard game without that. So I started this game and I wrote my name wrong in Japanese. I gave myself 2 of that little Y things at the end.
What is it, Joey?
No, I went back and I restarted it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I have to
What
be...
was it previously?
It was like Joey.
That could be fine.
It could be fine, but I wanted to...
You know, when people summon me at work, they'll be like Nikki and then any noun after. So it'll be like Nikki Tomatoes.
Nikki
Or
Tomatoes.
it could be like Nikki Pillow. Or Nikki...
Nikki Robe, because you're in the robe.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Nikki Gabagool.
Anything. Nikki Picture Frames.
Have you ever seen how checked up Fraligator is? How cheeked up? Oh yeah, in how cheeked up. In the 4th generation, you know how you see the Pokemon from behind?
Mm-hmm.
They gave Fraligator a massive ass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in like the 4th generation of Pokemon. So like Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Let me look it up. Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Yeah.
I had him in that game.
Did you really get him in that game too?
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't on the team I used to, like, mess people up.
Yeah, that was Venusaur. Venusaur, Flagon, and Salamence.
You're just like, you can't have 2 dragon types on your team. And I'm like, why not? And you're like, because it's bad statistically. I'm like, well, I'm going to do it. And then it worked so well. For Alligator 4th gen. Ass. This looks so bad. Like, if someone were to see my search history.
Do you see that?
It's actually him.
Yeah, that
No way.
No, that's it in the game, and that's a drawing there. That's it in the game right here. Look at that. I think that's supposed to be its tail. Like, I think that's its leg, and that's supposed to be its tail. Like, I think that's what it's supposed to be.
No, that's his ass. Like, there's no way around that. Oh, I see it now. Still, does he have a tail? Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, but still, that does not look good.
I know. It looks like its butt. I'll always pick Bulbasaur. They did that for us. They didn't have to give him a massive dumper, but they did.
It starts with Summer Ray, and it ends with 4th gen for Alligator.
That's the pipeline. So I said I wanted to go on stream at like 10 tonight, but this whole thing took me until like 11 to get the game going.
Why is that? Oh, because you had to keep restarting it?
I had to restart it. The other thing was like setting this up was kind of a pain in the neck. Because I also wanted to use that. Because remember how the picture quality came in better on that than on the GameCube? But I wanted to connect it from that one to the TV, so I was messing around with the capture cards. It just took a while.
I also want to announce to the chat that today I officially doubled my money in Bitcoin.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it at now?
So I don't have a full Bitcoin. However, the Bitcoin price is at 56,000 for a full Bitcoin. Now I have, well, I'm not going to say how much I have, but I have some of a Bitcoin.
And now that sum of a Bitcoin is doubled?
It's much bigger, yeah.
I still don't have any of a Bitcoin. I probably should have some of a Bitcoin.
Now I have 1.5 Ethereums.
I'm gonna name my firstborn child Ethereum. Ethereum is such a cool name.
Ethereum?
Like what is the, you know how there's spelling bees? You know spelling bees? And people are like, what is the origin? I never understood that. I guess it gives them some type of a context clue for the spelling. But like, I thought that was like the biggest like time waster thing. What is the origin? I want to know the origin of Ethereum.
Well, I guess if you're really a linguist, you could like piece together how things are spelled based on common patterns in the language.
Do you think anyone in like
Yeah,
fourth grade?
These kids are sickos.
You think the kids in
These
fourth
kids are
grade?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because this is what I was doing in fourth grade. This is what I.
Some kids are sickos. You know, we had the kid in our class, in Mrs. Ogden's class, Shane Fianju, and he won the geography bee like nationally.
That's wild.
And this kid, well, one, he knew way more than Miss Ogden, and number two, you literally watched him, and they would ask him the most obscure question, and he would ask like 3 things about it, and then he'd be like, "Yeah, it's this," and they'd be like, "That is correct." And it was funny because he didn't seem like really pretentious either. He just kind of had like a smile on his face.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's good that they're not pretentious. Sometimes a lot of these smart kids who like know all this random information are like the most pretentious people.
Yeah.
Ninja Warlord says that he'd sell it Bitcoin as volatile.
He would sell it?
Yeah.
No. You see, who said that? Ninja Warlord?
Ninja Warlord.
Ninja, do you hate free money? Like, volatile means it goes down sometimes, but it also goes up sometimes. And Bitcoin goes up way more than it goes down. So you hold, and then when it hits 200K, you sell.
Okay. Wise Barb Yelling said I bought like $50 worth 3 years ago, and it went up. 3 years ago, and it went up, and then crashed hard. Echo Side said my buddy jumped on.
Did you sell? Where is she? Wait.
Wait, hold on. I
Still got it though, and it's worth 80 now. So you made $30.
Yeah, there you go. Bitcoin only goes up.
Yeah, you made $30. There you go. See, if you would have put 500 in there, you would have made $300.
All right, let me catch up. Echo Side said my buddy jumped on Bitcoin early and sold it off just before it blew up. Ooh, that sucks. Still got it now, and it's worth $80. Only took 3 years. A friend of mine was using Bitcoin to buy drugs on the black market, and if he had kept it, it would be worth a ton. Except last year, crypto go burr.
Hey, why is Barb yelling? I know $30 doesn't sound like a lot of money, but if you break that down percentage-wise, you're looking at a 60% return, which is actually pretty crazy. Like, mathematically, you don't get 60% returns in 10 years. Like, that's like a $10,000 investment turning into $1,600 in 10 years, or a $100,000 investment turning into $160,000 in 10 years. Like, if you look at that on a ROI basis, now I'm getting into like finance words, but that's actually a really good return. But like, because the principal is small, it doesn't sound big.
We need to start Joey Coin now.
Yeah, honestly, we probably could.
Joey Coin. That's a good one. That you know what? That should be the new emojis. That should be. Oh, that's good right there. That's good right there. But we should have Frank make us the new emojis of like my face on a coin. We call that Joey Coin. give me 10,000 Joey Coin. To the moon. Joey Coin's gonna be like the new Dogecoin. I'm gonna just start making memes about it. All right, Nick, I'm up to Falkner. I'm not even gonna heal. Caption, good.
Good. Bruce Falkner.
Do you see this? I'm only using Cyndaquil. I'm not using anyone else.
I'm looking at a graph right now, and it's Jenga sales in the U.S. from 1990 to 2010.
Like Jenga, like the bricks?
Yeah, like the bricks.
Why are you looking at Jenga sales?
Well, I figure it could raise a lot of valuable insights.
So what are you seeing? Has Jenga gone down?
Yeah. So don't invest in Jenga.
People are not as interested in Jenga anymore.
It's true.
What do you think happened? You think everyone just has a Jenga? Because we have a Jenga back there.
Yeah, maybe just everyone has one, you know? You only need one Jenga for the house. It's like a bike, you know?
You only need one bike for the house.
Not for the house, but one bike per person. Like, I have the same bike that I've had
I beat Falkner.
maybe since, like, 5th, 6th grade.
Yeah. We should probably get... I think I should get a newer bike. I think your bike's
my
pretty
bike's
solid.
fine.
I think I need a newer... Because my bike's pretty small.
Well, you've had that bike since you were probably in a really small guy, too.
Yeah. So I bought like $12 worth of Doge, and now it's worth $6. No.
Oh, well, you know, $6, that's like you got a coffee at a bougie coffee shop. But percentage-wise, that's terrible.
Yeah, percentage-wise.
You lost half your money.
No, my Jenga coin. Bent my front wheel when I was 5 years ago and never got it fixed. Still holding, I believe. I hope that Dogecoin goes up for you. All right, so I think we got the egg now. We got the Togepi egg. Love that Gen 2 music. Best track in the game. There's so many good tracks. You know what's a really good track is the Route 27 music when you get into Kanto. Dun, 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 dun. That's like hype up music right there.
Hype music.
Another good good song is the Azalea Town song.
Iggy Azalea Town?
Yeah, Iggy Azalea. There's a remix on YouTube. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, go on YouTube right now and look up Iggy Azalea Town.
Oh, wow.
No, like
I
it's
just said
real.
that as a joke.
No, it's real. It's real. I want you to play it too. People go hard in the remixes.
I'm not getting any Pokemon. Oh, this one.
Yeah, no, that's not the one.
That's not the worm.
This is it. No. I mean, let me look on my phone. Hold on. Because it shows up whenever I look for it.
Besser.
No, is it gone? This isn't the one I was thinking of. The other one was better. I gotta find it. I don't know where it is. It's gonna bother me. It always shows up on my YouTube, like, after a while. It always comes back. Yeah, Iggy Azalea Town. What are you looking at?
I can't say.
Let me see.
Did you see this or no?
Oh my god, yeah, I saw that. No money, no family, 16 in the middle of Miami. You know it's Pokemon Day tomorrow?
In what? Like National Pokemon Day?
Yeah, it's National Pokemon Day.
So what are they doing for it?
I don't know. Nintendo's probably going to announce something, but they're probably not going to announce anything great. They're probably going to be like, the new app, Pokemon Sleep, you can download a Turtwig.
What's Pokemon Sleep?
Oh, it's an app. You don't know about Pokemon Sleep?
No.
It's a real app. Look up Pokemon Sleep.
No,
Look up Pokemon Sleep.
Tell me what Pokemon Sleep is.
Pokemon Sleep is an app on your phone where you put your phone next to your bed and it tracks like your movement at night and it tells you what Pokemon like you sleep with and you could like
It sounds pornographic.
Yeah, I know. It does sound like that.
Sleep with a Pokemon.
I still think Abandoned Ship Southern Island theme from Ruby Sapphire Emerald is the favorite tune overall. That's a good one too. You know the Abandoned Ship in Ruby and Sapphire?
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
I don't know the song.
That's the song.
Of my head.
That's the song. That's exactly what it sounds like.
You know, I remember certain songs from Pokemon, but I don't remember like where they are.
Dun
Like,
dun 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 dun. Yeah, that's a classic. Do you play Pokemon Go? Yes, I played a lot of Pokemon Go this weekend for the Diamond and Pearl event. I got a shiny Dialga and a shiny Palkia in the Origin form, and then I got a shiny Palkia non-Origin form. Scarlet and Violet has some bangers. I have to revisit Scarlet and Violet. We're gonna work our way back up there. I'm on Gen 2 of 9.
Scarlet and Violet.
No, I never beat it. Gen 2 of 9. But I'm going to skip Gen 5, so we're going to do Gen 2 of 7. 8. I used to play a ton and then get mad when they changed the remote raid passes, so I quit. Yeah, the remote raid passes, they did change them up. That's annoying. I've been meaning to play more Go because I just really want the level 20 jacket that they have. Really didn't get to level 20 yet? I'm on level 42 and soon to be 43. I've been playing Pokemon Go since it came out. Like, there are times where I go on breaks and I don't play as much, but I've been playing since it came out. But I have friends who do crazy things, like they use those lucky eggs and then they'll get into groups and they'll do like an absurd amount of raids. And I'll have more Pokemon than them, but they'll be a higher level than me, and it kind of makes me mad. Because I don't do that, because I don't really raid with anyone. I kind of play Pokemon Go alone. 40 plus is insane. Yeah, I have friends who are like 45, 46. I don't know how they do it. It's all like being strategic with using the lucky egg and like on big raid days and doing like 5 raids in a row. But you need to be getting into groups to do that, and I don't play in groups. I just do it alone. I was a beta player. Get remote invites from people on Reddit. Oh yeah, that's good. Too shy to do anything local. I see a lot of people like doing it locally in a raid, and like I'll like go and I'll see like, oh, there's a bunch of people in this gym doing this raid, and I'll see the people on their phones. I'll like give them a nod, and like that's it. The demographic of people that I think I've talked to the most playing Pokemon Go though are like middle-aged moms. There's a lot of moms who play Pokemon Go, like, and there's a lot of moms who take it very seriously. Like, there's this one who's, like, always in the park by me. She's always going. She's like, when are we going to do that special trade? And I'm like, I don't know. I got to think of something that I need. The jacket is for level 5. Level 50 Go players? Oh, man. That's crazy. Yeah, good luck getting to level 50. I've been playing for... I don't know, since 2016. I'm not there yet. It gets to the point where, like, each year I grow a level now. Like, it takes me about a year to level up. You don't use the lucky egg strategically, it'll take forever. Yeah, it's taken forever for me. And I even think that I'm trying to use it as strategically as I can. It's taken forever. What time are you gonna get up for work tomorrow?
8:30.
Nice.
What about you?
I gotta be out of the house by like 8-ish.
What time do you think you're gonna stream until?
I think I'm gonna go till 1. Because it took me a while to get on, and I want to be streaming more. I haven't been streaming as much as I'd like to. Get a solid couple of hours into this game.
Joey's a solid guy.
Yeah, Frank's streaming tonight too.
Yeah, I know, I see him.
You're downloading Pokemon Go now? There you go. The thing about Pokemon Go is it's a lot easier to get shinies in that game.
It's almost like not even anything.
Yeah, it's
There's so many. Like,
there are
it's
so
like
many.
1 in 30. If you factor in like the shiny days.
The shiny days cause it to increase a lot. But if you do raids, I think it's like 1 in 20 that you get a shiny. Like, I was doing raids yesterday, and I got a shiny Palkia, shiny Dialga. I got a couple of them. I got a couple Palkia.
Couple Palkias.
Couple Pow Worlds.
A couple Powwows.
Little couple Powwows. I figure it's time to return to Pokemon, though, on stream, because I got through... I did a nice little variety of other things, like...
Little variety pack.
Yeah, a little variety pack. Maybe I should be alternating between this and Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina.
Remember I was playing through Ocarina?
Yeah.
I did 1 stream of Ocarina. I gotta go back and I gotta finish that. But we did Ocarina a little bit. We did some Until Dawn. We did, you and me did Gold and Silver, which I know it's Pokemon, but it's a variety. It's a little different, you know?
It's a variety pack.
Oh, wow, you had a good shiny Mewtwo. I have a shiny Mewtwo also in that game, but it doesn't have, like,
The Mew
almost
skin.
perfect stats. The Mew skin. Trying to make sure I battle everyone in these areas before progressing.
Wash out.
Alright, Union Cave time. You know, in this cave, there is a Lapras that only shows up on Saturdays. Or Fridays.
Oh, because it has the clock.
Yeah, that's the clock. Oh, that's the one thing. I don't know what day I made it in this game.
Oh, because you're playing in Spanish.
Yeah, because I'm playing in Spanish. See, I got the time right, but I don't know if I got the day right.
Mm-hmm.
I got the time and I got my name right.
Well, you got your name right. I'm going to Bedminster.
Alright. Have a good night. It's just me again. Okay, this is not good for only having a Quilava. All right. Come up here, Rick. Ricky, here. Now you're just gonna look at me? Alright, there you go. Trying to position this where it doesn't block Rick. There we go. Level 20, here we go. Yes, I am fighting every single wild Pokemon that I encounter. Lots of encounters. Oh, Whooper. Whoop whoop. What is this guy? Super nerd. Oh, he's got a Slowpoke. Come on, let's get to level 21. TM number 39. Defense curl. Oh, he's learning a move. Okay, look. Good. Good. Lava Gen 2 learn set. So he's learning quick attack now. And I made him forget Leer. There we go. Oh my god, these encounters are insane. Back from playing Pokemon Go. You're playing Pokemon Go already. Pokemon Go to the polls. What'd you do, like a walk around the block? Did you get anything good? So I had 93 friends after not playing for a year. Wow. I've been playing for years, and I think I only have like 120 friends on there. So you have more friends on there than I do. What is your friend code? I will add you in Pokemon Go right now. If you type it in the chat. Actually, you know what? Yeah, just type it in the chat and I will add you. Okay. 8, 5, 9, 7, 5, 6, 0, 3, 6, 6, 1, 6. Alright, I just sent you the friend request, so now we can send each other gifts in Pokemon Go. You should have played this past weekend because there was a lot of good stuff from Gen 4. Like, there were Gibbles everywhere. A lot of raids going on. It was a good time. You got it? That's me. I have the red jacket. I have the ruby version hat. A combination of red version and ruby version. My two favorite Pokemons. And I have a shiny Lugia as my buddy right now. I'm trying to get 10 buddies because they're 10 best buddies for the Jirachi research to get the shiny Jirachi. You missed Mudkip and Froakie Community Day. Oh, yeah. Honestly, I don't know if I did Froakie. I think I did Mudkip. Like, there's some community days that I miss. Get the Togepi hoodie. Nice. Our Togepi in this game should be almost ready to hatch soon. They usually hatch once we get out of Union Cave. The Greninja. You can get an Ash Greninja by doing that, what is it? By doing that demo for Pokemon Sun and Moon. And then it transfers to your actual Sun and Moon game, I'm pretty sure. And then you could transfer that Ash Greninja up to the Switch. Shiny Shadow Sableye. That's a good one. It's always good to get a shiny Shadow. I think I have a couple of shiny Shadows. I have a Scyther that's shiny Shadow, and I have a Pinsir that is shiny Shadow. I gotta transfer all those Pokemon up. Alright, here we go. We're doing the Slowpoke Well now. I feel like Gen 2 was really using Gen 1 as a template because there's an equivalent of Mount Moon being Union Cave early on after the first gym. Then there is Diglett's Cave, and then Slowpoke's Well in Gen 2. So, like, they have, like, similar, like, motifs that repeat. Gen 1, the Silph Co gets taken over. Gen 2, the Radio Tower gets taken over by Team Rocket. They made the same game 9 times and we bought it. Yeah, but sometimes when they make it better than others. Like, I really want to like Diamond and Pearl, but my biggest problems with those games are they're very slow. Like, it takes a while for the health bar to go down. It takes a while when they save the game. It just, everything about that game is very slow. You move through the Great Marsh, very slow. You move through the snow, very slow. You need a ton of HMs. But there's a lot of things about it that I like. I just wish that they picked up the pace a little bit on there. The health bar was so annoying. I feel like Gen 3 had a great speed. It had a lot of water, but it had great speed. Because the first generation you could run in, like, in that generation you move. 7.2. Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid rating for it. Rick, you good? He was shaking. He was having a bad dream. The match, exactly. You had the match bike. There's so many good things in Gen 3. It's alright, the Pokemon Company is probably going to make Pokemon worse. They've only been making Pokemon worse. They've only been making Pokemon worse. Even the remakes, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, like, they look like Fisher-Price little characters. The little chibi... I don't know, I don't like it. Forget which gen it was, but the one with the nice rival and the mean rival. Oh, nice rival and mean rival. In Gen 1, you have the mean rival, but he's like kind of snooty. He's like kind of your friend, but he's kind of snooty. Gen 2, the rival is like, they went all out making this guy like he steals the Pokemon. Like he's mean, he's nasty. Gen 3 is the girl or the guy who likes you, depending on the character that you pick. Gen 4, I think there's a few rivals. I think that's the first game that started doing like a few rivals. Gen 5, they had too many rivals, and I didn't care for them. Gen 6 I didn't play because I hated Gen 5 so much. Gen 7 was Sun and Moon, and then you had like a friendly, you had How, who was really friendly. Maybe Black and White, Gary, MF Oak. Sword and Shield I didn't play. Hop is nice. And Bede. I don't remember the other one. Gen 6 had too many rivals. Sword and Shield, I beat it, but I don't really remember much about it. Gen 5 only had Sharon and Bianca. I feel like there were so many background characters in Gen 5. There was also N, and I did not care about Gen 5. Gen 6 had Serena, Callum. Oh my god, that's too much. That is too much. Yeah, I would not like that. Like, the one thing I play these games for is, like, to go out and to explore. To go out and to explore and to make me feel like I'm in a forest, in a cave, traveling. I don't want, like, a friendship simulator. I have friends. How and Gladion, yeah. You don't count Lily. It had a lot of characters, though. Like, as the games progress, the more and more characters they have in them. I don't know who Shauna is, unless I forgot them, because a lot of these characters are very forgettable. I think other than the first three rivals, they're pretty forgettable. They're also forgettable, like, when you dilute them and have so many characters in the game, too. Sword Shield has Hop, Bidet, and BD, and Marnie. What are these names? BD and Marnie. I thought Hop was in Sun and Moon. Unless he's in both. I know that they reused one's animation somewhere. Like, I think Hawk, they reused his animation in Sword and Shield. Good. I'm glad that they brought back a not nice rival. Because these wholesome rivals, like, you need a one that you want to beat. I think we beat everyone now. We can fight Bugsy. I'm not even gonna heal. I'm so powered up, I don't even need to heal. I mostly remember the female rivals because of stuff. The female rival in white version, the girl, or the female character in white version, they, in black and white, they made some design choices with her. Bug Gym feeds Quilava, yes. Rosa. Yeah, they made some choices with her. They gave her very short shorts. Kira? I don't know. Clara. I don't. Is she? What is she? X and Y? Sword and Shield DLC, okay. I guess I gotta get Sword and Shield and I gotta get the DLC. Shield has a different character in her place. Okay, so I guess I gotta get Sword then. I guess I have to buy both of them and buy the DLC at some point. And stream them both. Alright, so Bugsy is done. We got 2 gym badges. We are progressing very well with just Quilava. Because Shield has a different character in her place. They have to make a lot of improvements in 3D Pokemon games for me to buy another one. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It is, it's not too good. Scarlet and Violet are pretty broken. Here we go, rival battle. Scarlet Violet really has Nimona. Averin and Penny aren't really rivals relative to the story. Yeah, there's the one girl who's in charge of Team Star. I hate that. The other thing I want them to get rid of in Pokemon is teams. They've done these team things to death. I don't like it. I actually like what they did in Legends Arceus. I thought that was pretty cool, where they have those like little tribes for like Palkia and Dialga. I thought that was pretty solid. Is this where we lose? Oh no, it's gonna be close. The Scarlet and Violet DLC, you build a rival. What does that entail? What do you mean you build a rival? Or you mind break a character into hating you? Explain this to me more. Because you might entice me to play that game a little bit more. Their entire end game in the second part is to beat you. Okay. Is that the Nimona girl? So the DLC in Scarlet Violet is you go to Kitakami, Japanese region, for school trip. Okay. You go on a school trip. You meet a character named Carmen who hates you because you're an outsider, and her meek little brother who she bullies named Kieran. Okay, and you have to, then that's your rival. That sounds pretty legit. That sounds pretty cool. That guy further down. We gotta push that far-fetched out of our way. So she pawns you off to Kieran, and you befriend him, and he tells you a story of his land about a legendary Pokemon named Ograpion, who he really likes. Is that the turtle? Throughout the DLC, you and Carmen discover a Ograpion, and for some reason she convinces you to keep it a secret to Kieran. Is the DLC long? Ah, Psyduck. Long story short, he finds out, he's mad, he wants to help because its a legend says Ograpion is an evil Pokemon, but the truth is he was misunderstood. Sounds like too much story in my Pokemon game, though. I will tell you that. I like the... In Pokemon games, I like the very cryptic, like, Mewtwo thing, where you don't really know if Mewtwo was born from Mew, based off of the, like, little notes that you find in the mansion, the Pokemon mansion on Cinnabar Island. I ran away from that because I'm tired of doing these battles. So I'm too curing that. I'm allowing that. Out of his wife and Pokemon in part 1 of the DLC. That's funny. That's funny. In part 2, you go to the academy. They attend, and Carmen warns you how much Kieran has changed. Oh, he becomes a bad guy. Oh, character development. He's now the champion trainer of his school's Elite Four. Okay. That's not where I wanted him to go. And simply wants to beat you. I see. Alright, so they gave some good character development in that. Scarlet and Violet has wild stories. Maybe I should give it a better shot. There we go, we got Cut. Now I gotta find who I can teach Cut to. Who can learn Cut Gen 2? I'm not gonna teach it to my starter. Oh, who could learn Cut? Rattata could learn Cut, Sentry. Alright, so we have options. Oh, Spinner Hack in here if you want to cut. Let me see if I can catch a Spinner Hack. A lot more Pokemon than I thought. Too bad they didn't make a Celebi event. Didn't make the Celebi event have more accessible. You can do the Celebi event if you have Crystal version now. Like, I can do the Celebi event. I'm just checking to see if I can teach them that cut. I don't think I can. So I can do the Celebi event in this game. I'm playing on the cartridge, but if I were to put the save file using my GB operator that I have onto my 3DS, the 3DS version can do the event. You can only do it in Crystal version though now, on Virtual Console. It dumps save files and ROMs onto your computer. So by doing this, I can dump both the ROM and the save file of this onto my computer, and then if I have the ROM on my 3DS, I need to get the Japanese ROM, and then I can dump this save file onto the Japanese ROM. Yeah, I was able to get one for $50 online. It wasn't too bad. and it's definitely worth it if you like to do this kind of stuff. You also follow the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon Special manga. They're up to Scarlet and Violet in the manga? I didn't know that they went that far. That's really fast that they got there already. Alright, getting the ball right out of him. It just started a few months ago. Okay, so it's early on. But that's still pretty impressive. There we go. Now we're going to teach him Cut. And we are going to progress through. The manga is cool. It definitely takes a good amount of liberties with the source material. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's cool. And it definitely has a more mature take on... Wait, he can't learn Cut? Are you kidding me? Sarah, you lied to me. Alright, Pidgey, Pidgeotto. It had to in the beginning, there wasn't much to work with. No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I'm cool with it. They made the gym leaders evil, which was interesting. The Elite Four is evil. And then Yellow was its own new character. The Geodude wearing Cut. Probably not. Whitney is insane. Yeah, you're right. Whitney is insane. Let me look up. I'm going on Cerebi right now. Cerebi. Ilex Forest. Generation 2. Okay, you can run into Caterpie. And apparently you can learn Surf. Or you can learn Cut with Caterpie. No, you can't learn Cut with Caterpie. Okay, Oddish. Oddish we can run into in the Ilex Forest. Encounter rate of 50%. That's what we're gonna do. Base special Q, X and Y is an underrated arc. Haven't played that one. I gotta play that one. Oh, the manga arcs. Oh, okay. Is it they took like liberties with it and they made a good story? Like, tell me about it. Because I don't even know about the regular X and Y story. There we go. There's an Oddish. So in Gen 6, Team Flare were the big bad team. And their goal was to destroy the world and kill everyone except for select few who could afford to survive. Oh, wow. They must have gotten inspiration from some real-life people. Come on, Oddish, go in the ball. Oh my god. I hate wasting my balls on these Pokemon. There we go, we got him. So in the manga, Team Flare has infiltrated deep into Kellonian society. Their crimes are never reported and police deliberately look the other way. Did they do this in the game or is this just the manga? Because that sounds pretty mature for Pokemon. It's just the manga. Yeah, that sounds pretty solid. See, the manga's always doing things like that. It gets worse, okay. They need to put the manga people in charge of making the story for the games. Because I'm so much more on board with that than I am on anything else. At the beginning of the manga, the town and the main characters are from, the town you start the game, is destroyed by the box legendaries fighting each other. In the very beginning, that's how it starts. Wow. So we're gonna get headbutt from this guy. Any survivors captured except for the protagonists, and Team Flare's trying to kidnap them to cover it up. Yeah, that sounds like a story for a solid game. The entire arc is them figuring out what happened. Okay, now compare that to, like, the actual games. That's probably nothing like the actual games then, right? Team Flare is still trying to kill everyone, at least in the games, but they didn't destroy the hometown. The legendaries didn't fight to destroy the hometown and all that. They're not kidnapping people. Probably like cartoony mustache swirling villains in the games. Yeah. Interesting. Like Team Magma and Aqua, even though they were oddly goofy. I like that too, because that felt like a gang war. Like, that was... I really like them. I like their character designs. I didn't like their redesigns as much. I thought that their original designs were pretty solid. I think their redesigns made them look very cartoony, like one really nerdy and one overly pirate-like. There's more than what you explained. Yeah, I got the gist of it, though. The remakes didn't do them justice. I don't think the remakes did Ruby and Sapphire justice either. They made those games so much easier. And I'm not just talking about the EXP share. Like, I think every aspect in that game was so much easier. Like, from giving you Latios or Latias. Things like that. A lot of hand-holding. Things were a little bit more cryptic in the original releases. In the remakes, I remember that, like, okay, we're going to go to this place now. Meet us over there. And then you'd have to, like, go there in the map. And then in the remakes, they just, like, teleport you there where everything is. Like, they made... I know that cave that you find Steven's Stone in, it's not a deep cave in the remakes. In the originals, you had to use flash, you had to like navigate your way through that, and then eventually find him at the very end. And this one, you just walk into the cave and walk into the next room, and there he is. I did not like that. There were so many aspects of that in the remakes that they really just neutered those games. And frankly, in the end, when they did save the day, they make it seem like people were ungrateful and the protagonists wondered if they had really done the right thing. It was bittersweet and I love it. That sounds great. That sounds great. I had an action replay and a DS cartridge reader and made a ton of shiny Pokemon and gave away a ton of shiny Pokemon through Wonder Trade. Oh, they're not legit though. They're not legit. I had an action replay and I made a ton of shiny Pokemon too, but I erased the game after I like felt guilty about cheating. And I'm like, we're gonna do this the real way. And the only like cheats that I'll do are like glitches. Also, why is a chronic stripper? Wait. You're gonna have to pause that and explain that to me. She always seems to be taking off her clothes or trying to strip other characters for some reason. I'm looking this up right now. Her name is Y. Yeah, I am seeing that. With just Googling her, I'm seeing some pages. Interesting. I have a shiny starter, shiny Lugia on Soul Silver, shiny Charizard on Fire Red. I cheated to get all the Pokemon in Sapphire. It was bullshit. I've done the 1 out of 8,000 grind too many times. I won't do that, but I will do the arbitrary code execution to get the shinies, like what I did in my red version to get the shiny Mewtwo, shiny Mew. Then there's other like ways to getting shinies, rather than just the soft reset and the 1 out of 8,000. There is I knew how to do it back in the day, in like 2010. In Diamond and Pearl, there is there's a way to do, what's it called? Well, there's probably a way to do that in all the games. RNG manipulation to hatch shinies. So there's all kinds of ways of like doing it like semi-legit, or more legit than not using it like a third-party source to do it, not using a Game Shark or Action Replay. The chaining, yeah, there's ways to do it. All right. Well, everyone, we are at 1 a.m. Now, I should probably just try to make it to the town first. I'll make it to the town, and then we're gonna stop for today. So if you guys have anyone for me to raid, you let me know in the comments. I have a ton of legit shinies. I just wanted to send out a ton of different shinies in Wonder Trade. I see. Yeah, a lot of people I remember would do that on like Christmas. They would like send out shinies, and like the original trainer would be Santa. Is Frank streaming still? All right, I'll send you guys to Frank. We'll wait for me to get into the town, and I got to get my egg from the daycare people too. What is Frank playing right now? He usually doesn't stream on a Monday. But I know he didn't stream on Friday. Christmas is always big on Wonder Trades, yeah. Let me get my egg from the daycare people. Oh no, I don't want to give you my Pokemon. No, I don't want to give you my Pokemon either. I thought you could get an egg in Crystal version. Alright. Few more trainers, and then I'm calling it. Oh no. Good. Good. Also, Green, Gary, Blaine, Mewtwo are in X and Y. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like the whole thing they did with Mewtwo and Blaine in the manga. I thought that was pretty cool. And I know Green is not Gary. That's the anime thing. I reject the Pokemon anime. I don't even have a soft spot for it. I liked it as a kid, but that's the thing that, like, it was never good. Alright, we have an overpowered level 26 Quilava, and we have made it into Goldenrod City. And this is where I'm going to put a pin in it for the night. Alright, everyone, I'm going to be saving. 2 hours and 2 minutes in. Made it to Goldenrod City. Beat 2 gyms. Alright, good stream. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm going to be sending you guys over to Frank now. I hope you all have a good night. Thank you for hanging out. I'm going to try to get on and do this again sometime soon, because I like doing this. I like playing some Pokemon games in Japanese. We're getting back to the roots. Happy Pokemon Day, everyone. Good night.